The first vines at Voyager Estate were planted in 1978, which was some of the original vineyard background where our cellar door is. Michael Wright purchased the property in 1991, and he was pretty astute and quick to realise that there was some great soils in this particular little region here. So he purchased adjoining properties, which we now have 110 hectares under vine. Planted mainly red-wise, obviously Cabernet Sauvignon is what the area is most famous for. So we have significant plantings of Cabernet Sauvignon, some Merlot, a little bit of Petit Verdot and Shiraz as well. On the white side of things, Chardonnay performs exceptionally well in this particular pocket, as well as Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon, and we also grow some Chenin Blanc as well. The cellar door buildings, they're based on Cape Dutch architecture, which Michael really loved the architecture, and he was familiar with it from South Africa, and he always thought it would sit really well on the landscape here, which as you can see it does. It sits beautifully with the green trees and the green grass, and it really is a stunning visual aspect of Voyager Estate. Our viticultural philosophy really is about growing the very best fruit that we can. At the same time, we want more than just fruit in the wine. We're looking for layers of complexity and texture in our fruit, and we're all about elegance and purity of fruit in our wines. So I guess our philosophy is very much about trying to express, the wines have got a sense of place, and trying to express the soil and the microclimate in which they're grown in. I'd describe Voyager as one of the leaders in the use of clonal material in the region. I think certainly Chardonnay, we use actually 9 different clones. I said Sauvignon Blanc, we have a couple of clones. Semillon, we use a couple. I move to the reds. Shiraz, we actually use I think 5 different clones of Shiraz, just off the top of my head. And Cabernet, we have about 4 different clones. Merlot, we're looking to bring some new clones in as well. So that diversity and complexity we gain from using different clonal material in our wines is a really important aspect of our viticultural practices here. I describe our environmental philosophy as one of balanced and sustainable stewardship. So it's all about, I guess, going back to basics, almost going back to the basic farming principles, and trying to work with nature and not against nature, and keeping things simple really is what it's all about. I guess our winemaking philosophy really is all about balance. I guess for me that's the key word. I mean, we're trying to preserve that beautiful purity of fruit that we get from the vineyard. So it's all about adding subtle nuances to the wine, but we want it to be seamless. We don't want anything showing out or sticking out. So it's all about producing wines of fineness and elegance. Our core range of wines revolves around 3 white wines and 3 red wines. The whites being Chenin Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc Semillon and Chardonnay. The red wines being Shiraz, an earlier drinking style Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot known as Gert by Sea, and our flagship red wine, Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot. So we're currently producing a couple of really exciting wines, which we call our project wines. So this is really about an expression of that particular block. So it's a wonderful expression of fruit made from these particular blocks in this Wallcliffe sub-region. I still think after everything we've done in the winery, in the vineyard over the last, I guess, 15 to 20 years here, I still see the quality increments will still come from the vineyard, and I think it's all about maintaining that expression of that vineyard site, and also purity of the fruit. Even getting the fruit cleaner, if that makes sense. We've obviously invested heavily in fruit sorting equipment, so just trying to make the wines as pure as absolutely possible. Voyager Estate has an amazing cellar door facility with a beautiful restaurant, and there's a fantastic tasting room, also with a private tasting room where visitors can come and enjoy the wines and savour the fruits of our labours.